everybody. Thanks for watching Crystal White Beauty. I am filming right now during the daytime, which I never do, and here's why. I have a 13-month-old baby, so I don't get to film during the day usually. But I wanted to talk to y'all while I was in my real girl mode, which is mommy mode, this is actually still a little bit more than I might have time to do, because mommy makeup is all relative to how much time I have that day to actually put it on. And he took a good nap today, so I got kind of a full face on of mommy makeup, but still, this is kind of the normal me. I'm in my typical mom wardrobe, which is like some sort of just whatever tank top I can find with mismatched bra and a cardigan, and I got my stretchy pants and my tennis shoes and kicking the mom bun. Basically 2-day dirty hair, and that's just the way that it goes, because unless I can commit to actually drying the hair, it's not worth washing the hair. I have to be mentally prepared for the drying process. I've got clothes in the dryer and tater tots in the oven and 100 other things going on. So that's a normal day for me. So when I do get glammed up, it's a big deal. I like, especially nowadays, I really like to take it up a notch. So today's look is going to be a Bridgette Bardot smoky cat eye, super nude lip. One of my favorite lips that I found right now for that perfect like peaches and cream nude lip. And I'm always on the hunt. I think every makeup artist is always on the hunt for their personal perfect like nude lip. So this look that we're doing today is going to be this very smoky, glamorous, retro, big hair, cat eye, the whole thing. This is my favorite going out look. If I'm going somewhere and I feel like, okay, I really need to feel cute tonight. I really need to feel like I look hot or sexy. You can tweak the colors if you're not really a charcoal person. These colors are going to be like a smoky charcoal eye with some pastels mixed in. If that's not really your jam, you can do the same kind of gradient ombre. Just choose some different colors and go with more dark browns or charcoaly browns, or you could add some gold in there if you want. I mean, there's 400 different variations of this. This is just the look that I personally love, is like my go-to. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. If you want to see more about some of the other videos that I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting out, there he is right now, laughing at Thomas the Train. I'm going to be putting out a video that is my kind of everyday quick mom makeup that I'll have this intro in, I'm sure too. And that's what I have on right now. And then my bulletproof, going nowhere, staying on, humidity proof, all day, all night foundation routine. So anyway, stay tuned. Please subscribe if you can. If you'd like to get more updates on the videos that are coming out soon too. I'm going to have a bunch of them rolling out kind of back to back. So I hope that I see you again. Make sure and comment and let me know what you thought of the video and what other looks and what other makeup tips you'd like to see. Thanks. Okay, completely naked face, haven't slept in a couple of days, looking rough. I actually wasn't going to record an entire video for this. I was just going to do a little bit for Instagram, and I decided to just let the camera roll. So the lighting's a little bit wonky and the angles are a little bit different than what I normally use, but I think it's going to be effective for me to get a little more information in as far as some techniques. Right here, you're going to see me using my Lancome powder pencil and my Anastasia brow definer to create a brow line. Since I really have no brows, I don't normally film this entire process because it does take a little while. But I'm using a concealer here and a concealer brush just to clean up that brow line. Now I'm going to be moving straight to doing a partial face with a little bit of foundation just to start. This is my primer, my Allure Mercier Oil Free. I'm doing it oil free because I want a demi matte finish, a velvety finish out of this look to fit kind of that retro vibe. And then I also have been breaking out. So I'm going to be using the Dior Air Flash, which is a foundation that I absolutely adore when I want to create a completely flawless looking complexion in the least amount of steps. It's absolutely gorgeous on. You see me shaking it up here. I'm spraying it onto a brush, and then I'm going to take it directly onto my skin. I don't need to use a beauty blender with this one because it looks perfect whenever you get it blended on just with a brush. It is the quickest way to get perfect looking skin, but it is a little bit more of an investment foundation. I mean, you're looking at anywhere between, I think, $65 to $70 for a foundation. So I don't use it every day by any means. And it's not that you can't wear it every day, but because it is a little bit more of an investment, I like to make it stretch as long as I can. And I like to reserve it for more special occasions and whenever I really want that super flawless airbrushed finish. Next, I'm going to be using the Eclat Peau concealer. I feel like I'm showing you like the holy grail of basic face products. This is a concealer that's always been considered a makeup artist's secret. It's an award-winning concealer that has amazing coverage. You barely use a little bit of it and it covers beautifully. It photographs beautifully. It looks amazing on film. Hence why it's always something makeup artists have kept in their kit. And I'm just pressing it out here with a beauty blender. And as you can see, it is covering just any little detail that was missed with the overall application of foundation. Who's got flaws? Not this girl, because I've got concealer. Okay, now I'm going to be using my trusty Painterly paint pot from MAC, which is either just a cream shadow by itself or an eyeshadow base. I'm taking it all over my eye, and I wear this whether I'm wearing shadows or not. I put this on pretty much anytime I want to just even out the tone of my eyelid, because as you can see, it cuts any redness and veining that's visible on the lid and makes the eyes look much more awake before you put on shadows. Next, I'm using the Morphe Brushes 35C palette, using the lightest shade underneath the arch of my brow bone and on the inside corner of my eye. Now I'm using a very soft, fluffy blending brush here that I'm taking and sweeping this on. The brush here looks like it would be the exact same type of brush that I'm using in this next segment. It's important that you understand the difference in a true blending brush and one that's great for just sweeping on softer, lighter colors. This is a very firm blender, so you can see that this transition color I'm working into my crease and above is getting really blended out, and that has to do with the fact that I'm using a more coarsely bristled brush to buff that out. I'm switching here to a brush that is going to fit more tightly into my crease, into this dark brown, and I'm going to take that just into the outside corner and right into the crease of my eye with this smaller brush. You'll notice I'm pulling everything out to the side of the eye to exaggerate that cat eye effect. And then here I just switched back to my blending brush. This is something you're going to see me do throughout the entire rest of the eye. Apply the color with one brush, blend it with my blending brush. The reason I'm doing that is it's going to give me a lot more control of the color. So here I just press the color onto my lid with a smaller, firmer brush, and then I'm blending it out with that coarse, bristled, fluffy blending brush. I'm taking this charcoal from the crease down to the lashes on this outside corner of the eye, and I'm going to be creating an ombre effect with the shadows. Again, here I switch back to that blender, and I'm just going to blend like my life depends on it. Picking up this darker color, I'm coming just on the very outside corner of the eye here, again enhancing that drawn out cat eye effect. It's going to be a bit more exaggerated, and that's intentional. Okay, using a flat synthetic bristled brush, I'm pressing this color onto the lid, not dusting, but literally pressing that onto the center of my eyelid and buffing this into that darker shade. I'm switching now to a really soft powder pink, almost not even pink at all, color that's perfect to give that gradient effect on the lid, so I get that really soft ombre without it looking too blue pink, since the rest of the colors I'm going to use on my face are more peachy. I'm taking an angle brush here, going back into the outside corner and crease of the eye to really enhance there. And I really want to continue to blend on this. So I'm sure you've figured out by now that if you're in a huge hurry and you don't have time to blend, this is probably not the look that you're going to want to do that evening. You want to make sure you have time to blend this out, because that's what really completes this look. Now, up until this point, I haven't applied anything under my eye except a moisturizing eye cream, so I'm taking a little bit of my paint pot and running it just up against my lashes so that the colors that I use here will bond. Using my pencil brush in the same transition shade that I used earlier in my crease, I'm going to take that just underneath my lashes and smudge that out. I'm going to pick up a dark color here, and I'm going to slow this down to show you what I'm doing every single time before I touch my eye with eyeshadows. Typically when you see a makeup artist, their hands will be covered with product because we're using it like a palette. You want to warm that color up into your skin before you touch your eye with it every time. And the reason we do this is so it will keep from having as much fallout underneath the eye, and also so that whenever you actually touch that brush to your eye, it's going to blend out more evenly instead of grabbing in one spot. Here I'm using a waterproof pencil liner that I'm taking inside the waterline and then smudging under my lashes on the outside corner of the eye as well to exaggerate the eye there. And I want to come all the way inside the corner of the eye here. I'm basically going to be rimming my entire eye in the waterline, including the top lash line, with a black pencil.
Going back to my pencil brush again here, I'm taking that darkest shade and I'm smudging over the pencil where I've just lined the eye to really smoke out that pencil, hence creating that truly smoky effect. Because I've done so much blending here, I'm going back and adding a little bit of the strawberry bonbons right on the inner corner there just to brighten. To complete this cat eye, we have to do a liquid liner. That's a must. So I'm going to do a black matte liquid liner to kind of stick with the matte theme of all of the shadows. I'm creating an inverted V on the outside corner of the eye to create that cat line, and then really making a skinny, smooth line to the inside corner of the eye, connecting with the liners I've already placed there. I'm using my Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced, which is my go-to mascara these days. Very volumizing, very thickening, very, very black, so it's perfect with this look. I'm using a makeup wipe here just to clean up any excess fallout that may have happened, and that's why I haven't put on a concealer yet. Now I'm gonna be using a set of lashes that are perfect for a cat eye look like this because they're much longer just on the outside corners. And then using my pencil brush with a black shadow, I'm smudging over the glue line to soften that glue line. Now we're ready to finish my face. Okay, I'm using a little bit of the Air Flash again just to complete the center of my face where I've been touching and moving things around. I'm just cleaning that up a little bit and adding a hint more coverage. Now the step that really pulls the smoky eye together, I'm going to conceal, starting with my Corrector, which is a peachy shade from Armani, the Armani Master Corrector in the number 2 shade that cuts out the blue under the eye, and I'm going back over with a little bit of my Eclat Peau. A little bit goes a long way with this concealer, and then I'm pressing all that together with my Beauty Blender. When you're at home creating your own smoky eye, even if it's not this dramatic, it's important to remember that until you get to this step with the concealer, a smoky eye almost always looks like a hot mess until you've cleaned up under the eye and finished. This is the Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow Powder, which I'm going to be using for a couple of purposes here. I'm going to be using it to lightly set throughout my T-zone under my eyes a little bit, and I'm using it very lightly with a dampened beauty blender so that I'm not applying a lot of powder right now because I'm going to go back and be adding powder at different stages. This is just to very lightly set before I go on with any other products here and to give me more of that velvety finish for this retro look. This technique of using powder is going to melt the powder into the skin more, so I'm going to get it very softly set, but I'm not going to look heavily made up yet. I'm using a Hula bronzer from Benefit, which is a matte bronzer just to lightly sculpt out some of my features. This era of makeup really did not utilize a lot of contouring, so we don't want to go crazy with the contouring if we're sticking true to the retro vibe, but I do like a little slimming of my face. I mean, who doesn't? So I do want to do a little bit of dimension here using the bronzer, and I'm sculpting out just some areas of my face that I want to see a little bit more definition. Now I'm switching to a smaller brush, and I'm going to work on my nose a little bit more than I normally do, just for this specific look. I'm going to narrow that area on the side of the nose, taking it all the way up to the brow line, and then cropping off the tip of the nose a little bit just to soften and make that look a little bit more rounded. Now, the trick to this is the only way that this works and doesn't look completely ridiculous is if you really blend it. So I'm going back here with an angle brush that's a synthetic bristle, so it's soft but still firm, and I'm working this in and blending and getting this as close to seamless as possible. I want to keep some of the definition there, but I want to make sure that everything is softened and blended. You're gonna see me switch to my Beauty Blender here, and that's just to do a little more fine tuning, and then I'm gonna start using my Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow Powder to brighten and finish out some of the highlighting here, very, very subtly though, and also give me a little bit more of that velvety matte finish without being heavy matte. Right now, a lot of the popular products on the market that are brightening yellow-based powders are way too dark for really fair skin tones. This Bobbi Brown powder is a perfect option for that. It's going to give a brightening effect, so you can do a little bit of baking with it like I'm doing here and highlighting, and it's not going to look so dark and yellow. Okay, Okay, now for lips, I'm pouting because I'm almost out of this. It's my favorite lip primer, the Guerlain Kiss Kiss Lip Lift. It's amazing. It's gonna keep everything from bleeding and moving and smooths everything out. I'm gonna be using Topless from Too Faced, and this is that perfect peaches and cream I was telling you about. Love this color. Using the Palladio lip pencil. I love this formula of pencil when they are in the sharpen formula, not the roll up. This particular one glides on really easy, stays on really well, and gives a really crisp line. I'm coming right on top of my natural lip line, right outside of the natural lip line, but I'm not actually leaving the lip line. So that's a way to overline the lip a little bit without it looking super obvious. And to keep the lips looking a little more full and pouty for this look, I'm gonna fill in the outside corners of my mouth completely with pencil. Then using a lip brush with a little more lipstick on it, I'm gonna go back and blend the lip color over that liner so that everything looks nice and smooth and seamless. Now that I've allowed the powder to sit on my face and melt into my skin just a little bit, I am taking a clean powder brush and I'm just knocking off the excess and buffing it in so I have a nice soft velvety finish. To complete the brightening of my face, I'm going to be using the YSL Touche Eclat. I'm going to take that down the center of my nose, laugh lines, just my final areas that I want to brighten and highlight and give a little extra glow to the skin here. And then I'm going to use my Beauty Blender just to press that out. And to complete the look, I need to add a little bit of blush. I'm using I Will Always Love You, how cute is that name, from Too Faced. And I'm taking that right on the apples and then sweeping that back into my contour with a really soft blending brush. And last but not least, I always go back with a clean powder brush and buff everything together and make sure that everything is polished and finished. And that's how I go from hot mess to oh yes. Follow me on Instagram at Crystal Hoyt Beauty for more mini tutorials and makeup inspiration. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of the video.
Did y'all see that? It's a fly, and I swear he just knocked himself unconscious.